I'm interviewing a friend, Frank Odle, who was in the U.S. Army and entered Buchenwald on the day that it was liberated. The pictures, notes, and newspaper articles are Frank's. Frank has given me permission to interview him and use these materials, including the interview, to have a record of what he experienced as he entered Buchenwald Concentration Camp.
Frank, this is picture number 3. If you describe how you got this picture?
Well, when we went in, according to one of the inmates that was still able to converse and still had some strength left in him, most of them were walking dead, even if they were still alive. But this supposedly, according to him, was where they brought bodies from all over and put them there, mostly from a truck that we saw before. And eventually, those bodies would either be taken to the crematory, or if they couldn't work fast enough to do it, they'd be loaded in cars and taken to a mass grave somewhere outside the camp, which I don't know where that would have been.
You mentioned the way these people looked.
They were skin bones. Their eyes were hollow. The skin was terrible looking, a yellow, pale look to it. And when you say walking dead, they just stare at you and they didn't know what to say or do, and most of them wouldn't live very long.
You mentioned earlier to me that you gave them some of your food. Did you mention that?
For those that were alive when we went in, of course they were all hungry. According to them, they'd only had just potato peeling soup and maybe something made out of sawdust that resembled sausage. And what they would do is come up and just stare at you. Some would ask for something or hold out their hand. But what we started to do, all the soldiers started to give them K rations or C rations, whatever they had. And
what did that amount to? Dried food?
It was dried food or some had small cans of wet food in the package. And this was a regular ration given by the Army. So we started to give them out, and then an officer came by and said that we better stop doing that because said they're just going to get sick, and he was a medical officer, and sure enough, as you would give them this food, they'd gobble it down, and within a few seconds, most of them would throw it up. Their stomach would resist. They just could not take it. They'd only been on liquid diet probably for weeks and weeks, and with a few potato peelings, so the food they couldn't digest.